side midfielder to integrate with the defense. It often happens in a match that one of the three defenders is required to man-mark his direct opponent. Therefore, it is also important to coach the defense and the midfield together so that they can learn to function together as one body. This is why this exercise is carried out by the midfield along with the three defenders. Here, the 7 players block the movements of the opposing midfielders and of a single opposing forward. When the ball is passed to the single opposing forward, number 9 in yellow, the side midfielder should not move back toward the defense line, as he would then increase the already existing superiority in numbers, and thereby give too much space to the attacking team's side player. Instead, when the single opposing forward receives the ball, it is the central midfielder nearest to the play who should quickly move to double team him, while the 2 side defenders should move to cover in a triangle-shaped arrangement. The tactical situation in which the side midfielder should integrate with the defense as a 4th defender occurs when the attacking team's side player on the opposite side of the field has freed himself and is moving forward with the ball, with the closest defender having to come out of the defense line to close him down. In order to balance the movement of the side defender, the side midfielder moves back into the defense and acts as a 4th defender. Here, the 7 players in the defense phase counter an attacking team with 2 forwards. In this situation, whenever either of the attacking team's side midfielders has the ball, the side midfielder on the weak side of the defense must be ready to move back and become the 4th defender, and then to move forward to integrate with the midfield again when the opponent's attack is not successful and the opposing midfielders decide to restart the attack from the other side of the field. Now let's take a look at the movements that the side midfielder should make when the ball is received by either of the attacking team's forwards. In this case, both side midfielders should take an active position beyond the line of the ball, covering the important spaces along the wings. The central midfielder, who is closest to the ball, should join in to double team the opponent with the ball. The last example shows the partial movements that the group of 7 players must carry out when facing 3 opposing forwards. In order to face an attack by 3 forwards in an optimum way, it is necessary to know, in detail, the arrangement and the movements of the opposing midfielders, or to place an extra player in the defense in order to have superiority in numbers. As a general rule, when the ball is on the wings, the side midfielder, who is on the weak side, should always integrate with his defense in order to have superiority in numbers. When the ball is passed to one of the opposing forwards, both side midfielders should take a position along the defensive line. One pattern of play against other patterns. The 3-4-1-2 pattern against other patterns of play. The 3-4-1-2 against the 4-3-3. To apply pressure in the opponent's defensive third of the field, it is not correct for the side midfielder to move forward and pressure the opposing side defender who has the ball. Because if the tactical situation changes, the side midfielder must cover a considerable area of the field to get back to his defensive line. Therefore, it is necessary to involve the forwards. At first, they should force the opposing defense to pass the ball to the side defender. Then they should follow him towards the area defended by the side midfielder, who in this way can pressure the opposing side defender without advancing too far forward. The defensive line moves towards the strong side, that is, the side of the field where the ball is, and the side midfielder, who is on the weak side, integrates with the defensive line to create the defense's superiority in numbers. The 3-4-1-2 against the 4-4-2. One of the problems that a team playing in the 3-4-1-2 formation must solve when the opponents are playing the 4-4-2 is the shifting movements which need to be carried out in order to compensate for the inferiority in numbers on the sides. One approach is to apply pressure on the opposing defense by having the forwards move toward the sides and having the attacking midfielder move forward. The intended result is that the opposing defenders will have a more difficult time building up their play. Another result should be that as soon as forward 11 attacks the opponent with the ball, forcing him to play the ball to the side, midfielders 8 and 6 are in a position to anticipate the moves of their direct opponents. Side defender 3 is ready to cover. On the weak side, side midfielder 7 compensates for the forward movement of his teammate 3 by integrating with the defense. Here, the same movements are carried out starting from the other side of the field. Another way to apply pressure in the opponent's defensive third of the field is to require the two forwards and the attacking midfielder to move in different ways. Here, forward 9 remains in a central position, while the other forward and the attacking midfielder move to pressure the opponents on the sides of the field. The midfield and defensive lines carry out the same movements as before. Here, the same movements are carried out starting from the other side of the field. This solution is usually preferred when the two forwards have complementary characteristics. That is, when one is more static, usually the center forward, and the other is more dynamic. There is also another solution, but it entails more risks. If one does not want to move the two